So I know that obviously I'm just rocking my everyday natural look, clearly. This video is going to be one of two videos that are kind of like a Halloween special. So I'm going to do one costume this week and then next week I'll be doing another costume look. This week's was based on Khaleesi / Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones, and I love Game of Thrones and I wanted to do Khaleesi because I think her look is really like distinctive. Like if you went to a costume party as her, everyone would know who you're supposed to be. My amazing wig is from abhair.com and is a special Daenerys wig. And if you want to get this wig or any other Halloween wig, then they have loads on their website, and I've managed to get some discount codes for you. You can get 30% off Halloween wigs with the code YTCOS. And then you can also get 20% off with the code RosieDays20. And I'll also leave those links in the description as well. So before I start the look, I already had my wig and my blue contact lenses in, and then I just used Rimmel Wake Me Up foundation in Ivory and just put that all over my face with a foundation brush. I also like to use my fingers just to make sure it's all spread out evenly across my face, and then I'm going to use my Girl Pro-Conceal concealer in Natural and just pop that under any areas that I want highlighting, so under my eyes, the bridge of my nose, my chin, above my lip and on my forehead. And then I use my finger again just to dab in the concealer to make sure it's all blended naturally. And then to seal in my face, I'm going to use my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder in Sandstorm and just brush that all over just to set in my makeup. And after that I'm going to use my blusher from MAC, and this one is in Orgasm, and just use that on my cheeks as Daenerys has pretty rosy cheeks. I then used a big fluffy brush just to blend out the blusher a little bit and to make it less harsh. Then I'm taking my Naked 3 palette and I'm using the colour Nuna just to use on a small angled brush to use under my waterline and then on top of my eyelid as well, but keeping it close to my lash line. Then I'm using my trusty smudging brush just to make sure that anything that I've just applied is blended in nicely and looks as natural as possible. And this will make it look a bit more earthy and as if I'm not wearing as much makeup. Then I'm using the colour Burnout from my Naked 3 palette and just sweeping that across my eyelids just to give them a bit more depth. I'm then going to use my Collection eyebrow kit, and I'm using the lightest shade just to go over my eyebrows. I'm trying to make them look a little bit more straight as her eyebrows are very straight, but they're also quite thick. So I made sure that I applied quite a lot of this colour to my eyebrows and making them as much as I could the same shape as hers. And then I used a bit of my Stay Matte powder just to go over those to make them look a little bit lighter. I'm then going to finish them off with a bit of gel from the eyebrow kit because she does have some seriously strong eyebrows and this makes them look a little bit more unkept. Then I'm using my Collection eyeliner in brown and just using that to put on the upper part of my waterline, keeping that as close to my lash line as possible. Then I'm using my smudging brush again just to smoke out what I've just applied. Then I'm going to use MaxFactor's Clump Defy mascara, which is my favourite mascara ever, and just applying a tiny bit of that to my eyelashes. I'm then going to suck, yes suck, into this foundation lid just to make my lips look a little bit plumper, as Emilia Clarke, who plays Khaleesi, has some pretty amazing lips. Then I'm going to take this MAC lip liner, and this is the Naked liner, and I'm just using that to outline my top lip just to make it look even plumper, and then I'm using my finger just to smudge it out slightly to make it look a bit more natural. Then I'm using this Whirl lip liner by MAC just to stain my lips a little bit before I use my lipstick. And the lipstick that I'm using is also by MAC and it's called Yash, and it's also matte, so it gives a really nice natural effect once it's on the lips, so I really like this lipstick. Then I'm just going back in with the Naked liner just to make sure I haven't lost any definition on the lips, and that's it for my makeup look. For my outfit, I just wore this blue maxi dress from eBay, which I will leave a link to in the description box. And I also added this belt, which I made myself. And to make that, all you're going to need is some greaseproof paper, a life-size template of the belt that she wears, and I will also leave a link to that in the description box, some sellotape, a glue gun which I got from eBay, which was really cheap, and also some gold glue sticks. So first of all, you need to turn on your glue gun and then put in one of the glue sticks. Then you can lay out your template just to make sure it's in the right order, then flip them all over and sellotape them together so that they're nice and secure. Then I just laid over another sheet of greaseproof paper and started to trace around the template with my glue gun. And actually, if you have like a silicone sheet or a wax sheet of paper, that'll work a lot better because it was quite difficult to peel off the belt from the greaseproof paper, so I would check that out before you get going on the belt. And then I just threaded some string through the belt holes and tied it up behind me, and that is it for my outfit. It's really easy. So that's it for my Daenerys Targaryen / Khaleesi from Game of Thrones Halloween costume tutorial. I hope it gave some of you some inspiration for your costumes, and I hope you all have an amazing Halloween. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you liked this video, and make sure you subscribe so that you can stay tuned for next week's Halloween special video as well. Goodbye!